This week, I have the first of a series of podcasts I want to do for you that's all about not going back to school. It can be one of the hardest times for families, whether you're brand new or you've been at it for a while. We're really conditioned to do what everyone else is doing. So they all pile into that school bus, and we're basically saying, no thanks. It can cause some anxiety. You probably already know that, right? So I remember what that felt like. I'm doing a few extra podcasts here in August. I think it will help you through this. We're already halfway through the month, and I have a few podcasts from the years past if you're needing even more. And we have our annual Not Back to School webinar coming up on the 24th, so be sure to register for that. I've linked to a few unschooling guides that might be good to get in case you want to dive a little deeper. The Not Back to School guide, the brainstorming guide, which is great if you're thinking, okay, now what do we do? And the new to unschooling guide, which is another really good one to help you get started unschooling. And they're all only $15, so that's a good deal. The webinar itself is free. They're available over at the webinar registration page, but also in the shop at the unschoolingmomtomom.com website. Okay, let's dive in. You've decided, well, you're 99% sure, but that someday I'll do this with the kids is here. And while you may have felt pretty confident in June, now, well, the second guessing begins. I have some ideas to help you. You know the phrase, this is where the rubber meets the road? Here we are. But first, I want to acknowledge that I know how nervous you are. I remember feeling so nervous, like I was on a roller coaster. One minute so excited, the next minute terrified. Did you ever play sports? You know that anxiety that you have right until the game starts? That's what this is. You're in this limbo period. Not going back to school, but you haven't really figured out what starting unschooling will look like. Here's the thing. We've all been there. It's that feeling scared and doing it anyway thing. I want to remind you that this is all a choice every day. It's not carved in stone. It's not going to ruin anyone's future if you choose this and then change your mind, or choose this and stay with it. It really will all work out. I always say that unschooling success boils down to knowledge and support, getting the information you need and finding the support that works for you. But there's one more piece, and that's action. You have to take action. It's not like school where you just show up, sit in the seat, and then some teacher pours facts onto you. Or homeschooling where you blindly follow the curriculum that some company has decided is what your 5 or 10 or 15-year-old needs. You have to seek it out. Information, resources, opportunities for you and for your kids. You have to have enough discipline to continue to learn yourself about learning, about kids, about unschooling, about deschooling. Yes, you can drift because kids really are hardwired to learn. They will if you provide the nurturing environment for them. But you have a lot of unlearning to do too. What does that nurturing environment look like? How do you provide support to your kids when you're still needing support yourself? I had no idea what was going on when we first started our own unschooling journey. I want to share what worked and what I wish I had done differently. If we haven't met, my kids are grown. They're 34, 32, and 29, all off on their own adventures, all happy with their unschooled childhoods. You know, unschooling is all about individualizing across the board. Individualizing for your kids, but also individualizing for you. How do you learn best? Do you fall asleep as soon as you try to read an article or a blog post? Do you prefer podcasts or videos, but you forget to get back to them? Maybe you still do that gathering, dare I say hoarding, that we learned how to do in school. Gather all you can with the intent to get back to it. But this real life parenting thing throws obstacles in your path, and you may have a laptop full of PDFs that you've never really had a chance to dive into yet. I know, I was that way too. So these are some new habits that you're going to develop for yourself so you can be successful with unschooling. I have a couple of free PDFs that I want you to have. They'll help you get started, and I'll explain more about those in a second. I just want to mention that some people, like me, do better when we have others around us that are finding their way through this new wilderness. When I first started, we had park days and email lists where we connected with others on this unschooling journey. And after the pandemic, the landscape looks a little different. So I created a private membership group where you can have access to me and to other parents who are doing this. We have group coaching twice a week where you can bring your questions, and the parents in the community and me will help you find resources and overcome your fears. It's so great to be there with parents whose kids are all different ages. They're able to say, oh yeah, that happened to me last year. Here's what I did. And I'm in there making resources and offering ideas that I've seen work. It's a great way to get that information and support that you really need. All you have to do is participate. That's your action step. And this is a good month to join because I'm waiving that membership sign-up fee. You can hit the ground running for only about $12 a week. I'll put the link in the notes below. But as you're pondering that, let me give you 3 first steps to take. First, learn a little more about unschooling. I have a PDF that I'll link below to help you understand how it works. I'm including some additional links as resources to help you dive a little deeper. The PDF will help you see how unschooling isn't about the absence of education or neglecting a child's learning. It's the deliberate choice to base the child's learning on their interests and passions and curiosities. And when we give them the freedom to explore topics that genuinely interest them, the learning is so much better. The PDF also talks about your role as an unschooling parent, about the importance of communication and flexibility and trusting that all humans are hardwired to learn. It's a good starting place, so grab that. Think about how you learn best. I made a PDF for my membership group that I'll share with you all. You may be used to doing for others and keeping everything going, and you haven't taken the time to look and see what you need or how you learn best. This could help you see, yes, I'm not a miserable failure. I'm just better in the mornings, or I learn better by watching a video. It's all good data to start accumulating about your kids and about yourself. And the third thing is to make a list of all your reasons why unschooling is a good idea for you, for your children, for your family. You don't really need a PDF for that, so just start a note on your phone or something in a journal that you can keep. Pull these ideas to the front of your mind. This will help you when someone says something that makes you doubt your choices. I have an Unschooling Mom to Mom podcast, number 8, that you can go to the website and click, or I'll put a link to the podcast transcript, which is over at the blog. So don't forget about these 2 free PDFs I have for you and the webinar that's coming up on the 24th. I'll put all the links below. Hopefully you're subscribed to the podcast so you'll be notified when I publish the next one in our Not Back to School series. Next topic is going to be dealing with those critics. Sometimes it's just the eye rolls. Other times they can be pretty pushy. So I have some ideas for you. You don't want to miss that. Leave a comment below and let me know how you're doing during this time of year and if you have particular obstacles that are preventing you from the unschooling life you and the kids could be having. I'll bet I have a resource that can help. All you have to do is ask. Happy unschooling. Enjoy the kids, and I'll be back soon.